Hello and welcome back to Football Manager, and as you can see, FC Halifax Town have hired Hodgkinson. I have now been appointed as the new manager of Halifax Town, a team who in my living memory have been a Football League side, but have unfortunately in the past about decade or so now, have been languishing down in the lower rungs of the top 6 tiers, and I want to bring them back up. I've only got a year contract currently to do it, and I do think that I might just stay for that this season and just be done with it after this. My task this season is to finish in the top half position. As you can see though, they're 23rd when as I take over. But believe me, I do think I can do it. This is the current look of the team. No director of football, no assistant manager. A big stadium, I have to say, a very big stadium. Unfortunately, they've already been knocked out of the FA Cup. They still have the FA Trophy, and they are technically not out of the running yet. Now, FC Halifax Town obviously are a Phoenix club. They are a Phoenix club of Halifax prior to obviously 2008, when they were unfortunately made redundant, and as such they plummeted down the tiers of football. Now that's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about with that. Phoenix clubs, as you can see with teams like Wimbledon, are improving. They're getting back to the level their former clubs were once at. But what does worry me is this: no director of football, no assistant manager. That's a difficult position for me to be, because I have to now hire a director, hire an assistant manager, possibly hire some coaches, hire some assistants, scouts and physios. That's a lot of the weight going to be going on staff rather than players. Now, this is currently the best team that we can hope for, according to this. I will probably bring in a few more loans, maybe another transfer or two, just to bring up some of the positions to a higher standard. Current top goal scorer is Matt Stenson, who is worryingly not even in the first 11 of best players. That is a worry. Now, this is rather unimportant, the best 11, because I'll be choosing my best 11, choosing my team that I'm going to be using for the rest of the season. Now, this is technically what I'm supposed to be doing. This is irrelevant, we've already been knocked out of that, that's fine. This is going to be important because it's only a single match I have to win in that. This is going to be difficult. I'm going to have to rise 11 places between now and the end of the season. And it's December. Well, I think it's near December, I'm not actually too sure. I've been holidaying through and only come back when I got the offer of interview with Halifax. But yeah, it's 11 places I have to do in around 6 or 7 months, which is not going to be easy. Although I must admit, I did have one interview prior to this one, and it was an interview with Wigan Athletic, a team, as most people who, if they watch this video, will know, are in League One for this season. And that was a surprise, I have to say. It was a very big surprise. So let's move on. No point doing I'll do a press conference just so I can show it off, in case anyone that watches these videos doesn't watch any other person's videos and doesn't know what the press conference looks like, or hasn't ever played this game before, that sort of thing, just so they can get a good look at what's going on. So I am here now, of course. Review ongoing negotiations. We're loaning in Tyler Magloire. Sure, I have no idea if he's any good, but he's a centre-back who's young, isn't going to cost us much. Could work. That player there at the top of the list, very impressive potential. Could be using him. Another good player here, this guy who I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name of. He's Curaçaoan. Probably explains why I won't be able to pronounce his name. And by the looks of things, apart from 1 or 2 players, they're not a bad side by any stretch of the imagination. So I do think that it's a good option to look for keeping these players at the club for the foreseeable future. Now, obviously this is going to be difficult. We're going to need to make sure we can keep everything we got as we have. Annoyingly, our wage budget is actually below how much we're spending, and unfortunately, putting this up won't help. So that is unfortunate. Technical direction, that doesn't need to, well, actually no, I might as well create tech now. I'm going to look to play Route 1, because this is how I played with my beta save. And I'll probably be using this formation, although I will have different tactics available that I'm going to set up now. No, not that. It'll be a 4-2-3-1 wide. There we go. That'll be the direct counter attack, so the ball comes from the wing backs into the centre here, up to the attacker, goal. Simple as that. And it will not be a cautious, it'll be positive. And then finally, the last one will be a tiki-taka, because I do like a tiki-taka team, I do. I don't know why I do, but I do. And I do want a 5-defender system, but not with wing backs. I just want a 5-3-2 with. I'll find it in a minute. Oh, you know what? I'll just do 5-4-1, and then I'll just push one of the centre mids up like that. And actually, no, I want to have it as a 5-2-2-1. It's probably an awkward formation to have, but this looks good to me, at the very least. I'm not going to pick the team yet, obviously. Our next game is against Kings Lynn in 2 days. That is when you'll first see the teams that I will be picking. And yeah, I'll go from there, I think. But we're going to have a quick look at the side, how they've done in the last few years. So this club vision, and that I need club info. I just clicked on the wrong thing. But yes, as I said, admittedly, I was 2, but as I mentioned, they were a Football League side in my lifetime. But then, as you can see, things went wrong and they collapsed into administration and were forced out of the Football League, even out of the National League. And as such, they've had a slow climb back into relevance. Well, I say relevance, they've always been relevant as a football team, but back into the top 6 tiers of English football. They had a bit of a stumbling block here, a few poor seasons before making their way back into the National League, where they have been for the last 4 seasons. Now, of course, I'm going to try and get them back into the Football League if I'm still here next season. It's unlikely I will be, but I could. Surprisingly, Burnley, Huddersfield, Rochdale are all rivals, along with Bradford, Park Avenue, Guiseley, and Harrogate Town. It's rather odd choices, I must admit, for rivals. As well as that, big prices for tickets, I've noticed, which doesn't seem like it's a good idea, because as you can see, 10,000 capacity used for normal matches. That's all well and good, but if I quickly go to this, no match has received at home more than 2,000 people. Yeah, no more than 2,500 people have actually gone to any home games. That is a problem, because they're not going to be able to recoup their losses with ticket fees. Simple as that. So far this season they've lost £10,000 already. So that's going to be difficult. There are no players in the under 18s according to this. So we've got no chance of bringing any young players up into the side. So unfortunately we're going to have to work on building up a team from the top down. So that's a quick look over Halifax Town. Obviously, as you can see, bottom currently of the National League, and they're going to have to rise to at the very least 12th, where Sutton United are. That is 14 points. That is a rather insurmountable value at any point in the season. That's a very difficult amount of points to get. I believe they have won a game this season, given that they're on 4 points, or they've just drawn 4 games. No, they've just drawn 4 games. Okay, so that is a worry. They've not even won a single match yet this season. That is going to be difficult to work around, I'll admit that. But hopefully we will have signed on a new assistant manager, as well as director of football, and any coaches we may need, as well as scouts and physios. Because according to this, we haven't got a single scout. We've only got one physio. Admittedly, that's the only one we're allowed. We also haven't got a sports scientist, which is a worry. And we don't have any head of performance analysts. We don't have an assistant manager. We're not doing well in terms of staff capabilities. So, until we play Kings Lynn, which will be tomorrow for you, I bid thee adieu. Goodbye.